be the future of digital inclusion. The AFB Talent Lab helps train students to create the next generation of inclusive products with a paid internship and apprenticeship opportunity. Hannah, an undergraduate computer science student, is sitting down with Darren, an expert in digital inclusion and a mentor in the program.
Hey Darren, it's great to be speaking with you. Why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about yourself and your background in accessibility?
All right. I guess I got started in the accessibility biz. It was about 30 years ago, and I was night skiing one night, and I was zipping down the mountain, and all of a sudden this tree jumped out right in front of me. Almost hit it, and I got down to the mountain and gathered myself, and I realized that my peripheral vision, instead of being out to the side where it should be, was pinched in about 30 degrees. So went to see a doc and found out that I had a brain tumor. So we went in with surgery, and in the process of that surgery, my optic nerve was damaged, so I lost my vision completely. So I had to kind of figure out a new way of how to do things. And at the time, I was in the finance biz, stocks, bonds, investment banking, that sort of thing. And none of the tools I used in that field were accessible to me anymore. For example, the Wall Street Journal, I could get it, and I could get it in Braille, but it came a week late, and it was a stack of Braille this high, so it was really hard to search for what I wanted, and it was a week late. So in that world, that's just no good. So I changed my career into the tech world to try to improve the situation in the accessibility world for people with disabilities. And fast forward 30 years to today, mainstream tech has gotten a lot more accessible, but we still have a lot of work to do.
So you've been at this for 30 years and there's still so much left to be done. What are some of the major challenges in a broader adoption of accessibility?
Yeah, 30 years ago, I was just trying to get on the playing field. Can I even send a text? Can I read a textbook? But now I really want true digital inclusion where I can bring all my skills to the table and efficiently compete with my colleagues. What's limiting us now, it's a resource problem. There's just simply not enough people out there that know how to build accessible products. When I was at Yahoo, we were desperate for people who had these skills. I interviewed and trained over 1,000 engineers, and a tiny percentage of them had even heard of accessibility, much less knew how to build accessible products.
Right, yeah, I'm going into computer science myself, and I had never even heard about any of this before I joined AFB. So how can someone in my situation help?
Yeah, that's not an uncommon story, but you can help by just learning accessibility, but really at this point you're kind of on your own. You're going to have to teach yourself how to do a lot of this because you're probably not going to learn this in school. So we set up the Talent Lab as an immersive paid internship to teach these skills for people who want to go out to industry and build inclusive products. What we want to do with this program is to close that skills gap that I mentioned earlier.
Right, but when it comes to designing and engineering, there are so many different fields that you can get into. So if you're just starting out like myself and you don't necessarily want to be an accessibility specialist, are those skills still relevant? Are they still useful? Yes,
those skills are still going to be very, very valuable, even if it's not your career focus. This will look great on your resume, and the recruiters are desperately looking for these skills. And again, it's not just in the tech area, right? Because every company has a website or an app that needs to be made accessible. So not only will you put this on your resume, but we'll provide digital badges that you can put on, like your LinkedIn profile, for example. We also have solid partnerships with the programs that are hiring young people like you.
Yeah, that definitely does sound great. Yeah. So what are some of the things you actually get to do in this program?
Great question. We have some tremendous opportunities with this lab. It's a remote opportunity in the US, so you can work wherever you are. And we will pair you with an assistive technology like myself so you can learn how all this works. And you'll learn how to validate your own designs. We'll also go into detail in the technical design, so you'll learn, and the technical details, so you'll learn how to do all this yourself. And what's really cool, we have actual real hands-on projects from clients where you learn how to do this as you're actually working for people. And beyond that, we've also developed some complementary tutorials that you can learn about the technical details. And like I said earlier, this will look great on your resume, and we have the badges I mentioned, and we have the partnerships with recruiters that are hiring. Bottom line of all this, you will be able to impact the lives of over 1 billion people on the planet with disabilities. And kids today won't face the unfair obstacles that I faced.
To apply for the AFB Talent Lab internship, visit afb.org/Talent Lab.